Hello and welcome to Rentals with Rachel. Today we have a special podcast where we're checking out a themed Airbnb right here in Muskegon, Michigan. Themed Airbnbs are becoming a newer thing in the area here, and this one happens to be about Star Wars. So I have with me the owner of Dreamstay, which manages and owns this Airbnb, and his name is Jeremy Garcia. You may remember him from when we went out to the scenic resort on Lake Michigan and checked out that property as well. But Jeremy, tell me a little bit about what is so appealing about making a themed Airbnb.
Yeah, so with a themed Airbnb, you get to be a lot more creative, right? You get to create an immersive environment that makes you stand out for everyone else for the right reason. So with this theme, what we wanted to do is not make it overbearing. So part of the house is designed much more normal, and then we start incorporate more and more elements of Star Wars as you start going through it. So it's still designed to appeal to a female audience, which is the vast majority of the people who are staying with us are females.
True. Yes, and I would agree that there are a lot of feminine touches to this, even though it is a Star Wars themed home. And I love the subtlety of trying to look and find. So as you're watching this video, make sure you look for those subtle things that they've done in the house that go along with the theme. So tell us a little bit about what types of people come and stay here.
So in general, most of the time, because it's a bigger house, we often see grandma renting the place.
Okay.
And then it becomes a multi-generational stay.
Ah.
It's meant for the grandkids. Grandma books it. Parents are here, and they have a nice little shindig on the weekend where no matter where, come rain or shine, they're either close to the beach, they have something to do, they can watch movies in the theater, they can play games. We got a jungle gym, we got a custom fire pit, so they have something to do, and we incorporated that element of Star Wars into a little piece of everything.
Okay. What are some of the things that people tell you in terms of feedback about the place?
We've actually had several videos sent to us of children's reaction to them actually experiencing and coming in. And especially that audience of 12 and younger, they go really bonkers because there's nothing like this in the area. There's nothing like this in Michigan. We can't find anything like this in the Midwest. If you want to find a place like this, you have to go down to Orlando. So we kind of stand out on our own, and so it gives them an experience that we don't have anyone else to compare to.
Okay. And for that, speaking as an investor, are you then able to offer this at a premium price because it's a unique stay?
Yeah, so we offer this definitely at a more expensive rate. Mm-hmm. And it also allows us to increase our occupancy in the off season because it is different from everyone else. It separates us for the right reasons, right? Mm-hmm. When there's 100 homes that look great and we look great and have something different about us, it helps separate us from everyone else. We're the only in-home theater, and we have the game room, we have the theme, and so Star Wars is a huge franchise that's multi-generational. Like my dad watched Star Wars, I watched Star Wars, and now I'm indoctrinating my son into Star Wars. So it's crossing multiple tiers of generations to appeal to people. So the likelihood of us coming across a Star Wars fan, it is pretty high. And we all know moms will 100% sacrifice their stay to make their kids happy, right? So that's why we have the elements of the female touch that my wife designs. So everyone's comfortable, whether they're kids, adults, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And I understand that you also you have other locations of your properties that are also themed, and that seems to be a direction that you're taking this. Are you finding that your properties are still more unique than others in town, or are you finding other people starting to maybe jump on the theme bandwagon?
We've seen people raise their game. For sure, like everything's getting nicer. People are starting to add game rooms, different things like that. And I think that's a nature of the beast. Everyone's evolving, trying to stand out for the right reasons. the theming we haven't noticed as much. A successful theme is a lot harder to pull off. We have a fire station, and so that being an actual fire station that was built in 1923 or 24, it's a very unique experience. The next closest fire station to stay that we could find is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we've eliminated our competition for hundreds of miles around us. And we're currently working on a frozen themed one. We have a couple other ideas for themed properties, but it really takes the right house. So, you couldn't pull off a Star Wars themed house in a Victorian style home. It just wouldn't work, right?
Yeah.
So we had to do a mid-century. The outside of this house literally looks like Yoda. So like as soon as we walked up, we've been looking to do a themed property for a while, been searching for close to a year. And as soon as we saw it, we knew this was going to be the right one.
Interesting. So when you're searching for something, does the theme come first or does the house come first or does it matter?
It's 100% theme first.
Okay.
The things that we're looking for in a theme is that I believe that needs to be multi-generational, right? People idolize firefighters from little kids to adults, right?
Sure.
So like that crosses generations all the way across the board. Star Wars, because it's been around for, it's crazy to say, for almost 50 years.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're really looking for things that kind of cross and have been popular for that long. And so that way we can really touch multiple generations and appeal to them.
Okay. What would be your suggestion to somebody who thinks, wow, I'd really love to do a themed Airbnb? What do I do first?
I think my recommendation would be find a short list of themes, right? There's an endless number of themes you can do, right? I mean, you could make an entire theme around board games, right?
Right.
You could do the floor into Monopoly, all sorts of things. There's so many things, that's an endless number of them. It's really coming up with the house that's going to work for that.
Sure.
So like I said, we still have some themes that we would like to implement, but we're really looking for the right houses. And so coming up with a theme is the harder part to stand out for the right reasons.
Okay. Can you describe maybe one that you've seen that you thought didn't maybe do it as well as they could have? Without shaming anybody, of course, but just things that maybe you find are over the top.
So the biggest thing I think I've seen is trying to run that line, that border between doing an immersive experience and doing something that's tacky. And we see that a lot in our area where we're right next to the beach. We do see lots of beach things, but you can really overdo it.
Okay. What do you end up having people return to stay after they've been here once?
Yeah, so we do have people who are coming back every year for that experience, right? They come into town. There's a group of people that it's two families. They come in every year, and they just rent it out for their kids, right? They come in, they have a bunch of little kids, and they just rent it out every year in the winter, and their kids get to have a heyday because this is stuff that they don't have at home.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what people are saying with Airbnbs is people are looking for an experience that's different than where they live, right? So having that themed idea does create that situation for people, right? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to show us a couple of your favorite parts of the house?
Yeah. One of my favorite things is definitely the murals behind us. So we actually had these done in town here by a company called Graphics House. And so what they do is they actually do billboards. And so they made these for us, made sure we did all the copywriting stuff so we don't get in trouble.
Okay,
So we did all the licensing for it. And so they were able to put together these custom murals. And so, we got scene from Empire Strikes Back, and then it actually goes from A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi across the board. So this is my favorite room, and then the theater is definitely the next favorite. And then we also have the fire pit.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at those. So here we are in the theater room, which you said was another one of your favorites. Tell us a little bit about what's happening in this room.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a house about a movie, I feel like you need to have a movie room.
True.
So we put in-home theater in here. So we got the The seats, they all recline back. They got the little glow underneath them to make them look fun. We have a popcorn bar in the corner, and then did the lightsaber light, and then posters of the movies throughout. Just trying to make it feel like you would at a theater. And of course, we blacked it all out to really make that nice theater feel.
Mm-hmm. I bet this is a big favorite when people come, and so they can obviously watch the movies themselves here too. That's terrific. So, okay. So next, I think we'll go up stairs and head outside and check out the custom fire pit.
Sounds great. So each bench is set up differently. So we have 3 TIE fighters, one being Darth Vader's TIE fighter, 2 traditional TIE fighters, and then we have 2 X-Wings. And then the fire pit itself is actually the Death Star.
Cool. Did you have these custom made?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was only about $1,000 more to have it custom made versus buying furniture from any store.
And what a cool feature to have too.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this tour of the Star Wars themed Airbnb. And remember, may the 4th be with you.